A competency-based interview, let's just break it down. It's just a posh term. Rather than a question of what would you do if, competency-based interview questions are, can you give me an example of when? So in this session, just really want to go through how to prepare for competency-based interview questions. The best way to prepare for a competency-based interview is a method called the STAR method. You've probably come across this before: situation, task, action, and result. So if I just roll through a quick example, let's just say that the interview question was, give me an example of when you've displayed leadership. So the situation was my boss was out of the office. The task was we had a call come in from potentially a massive client, and my boss was at a conference, uncontactable, phone was off, there was no one else around who could help. So what was the action that I took? And what I did is get all the team around us, we all brainstormed it together, and we put together a massive proposal, 30-page proposal with a slide deck, and we got that across to the client before the close of play that day. The result was the client was massively impressed with how quickly we reacted, how we provided all the information that they required. They gave us the order. Now, there's an extra stage that I like to add to that, and I call it the Ringo method, the STAR method, S-T-A-R-R. For those of us old enough to remember the Beatles, will remember Ringo Starr was the drummer. For those who don't know who the Beatles are, they invented pop music. Google them, you'll probably like them. So S-T-A-R-R, so what's the extra stage? So we've got situation, task, action, result, but we've also got reflection. So if you really want to perform, when you reflect back on what you did, what could you have done better? What have you learned from the future? And what would you do if you were in the same situation again? You will absolutely nail competency interview questions if you follow that method. You can improve your score by, at the end of when they've asked the question, they are scoring you. They're normally scoring you on a score out of 5, with 3 being average, 4 being above average, 5 excelling in that competency. So one of the best things that you can do is, after you've given your answer to the question, ask, would you like me to elaborate on this any further? Is there more? Would you like me to go into more detail? Is there more information that you would like? You've given yourself that extra chance to go from perhaps a 4 to a 5. Go through your CV. Look at the key achievements that you've detailed in your CV, and really kind of think of, okay, who was the client? What was the order? What was the levels of sales process that I went through? Who were the stakeholders I was involved with? What was good about it? What was bad about it? So that when you are asked those competency questions, you've already thought about it in some ways, so that you can really put STAR into action to nail the result. So I hope this information on competency-based interviews has helped. Don't be afraid of them. Just remember, it is going to be questions of, can you give me an example of? Nothing more complicated than that.